Alright guys, we're back with another day in the shop. If you've ever seen me wheeling in this 91 YJ, you know that I need a front locker bad. So today we're going to take the first steps toward getting one. But I got a couple options and I actually want your opinion on it. So in case you don't remember what I'm talking about, I'm just going to insert a few clips here of why I need a front locker.
No, because that tire is not pulling. His driver tire is not pulling.
They don't have a locker. I got a true track or something.
I need to find out if the previous owner of this thing used a 373 and down carrier and put a thick ring gear on it to make up the difference, or if it has the appropriate one, because I can't order what I need till I have that info. So let's open this baby up.
Woohoo! So if you're wondering why that looks purple, it's because I use that Mystic gear oil and it's kind of pink purple colored. And this is actually my first oil change after having these new gears. So yeah, never mind all that rust, but I want to see if you can see this. And it's pretty normal for new gears to have crud. But there's definitely some crud in there and some flakes and stuff. So we are gonna get this thing super cleaned up the best I can and hope that's just the normal break-in sludge. So I'm no expert on these ring gears. This doesn't look like the thick cut one, but what I'm gonna do is reference this part number right here and see if it's the standard or the thick cut. I'm pretty sure it's the standard though. From what I can tell, I don't see any metal. I don't know if this plug's magnetic or not, but there's nothing on it. I've actually got a little bit of surface rust on some of these ends of these gears. Part of the reason is this axle seal on the passenger side leaks. In a lot of my videos you can see there's either gear oil or floor dry sitting right there because that side leaks so much. So that might be an indication that water has actually gotten in there. The fluid actually didn't look super watery, so I'm not sure why there's surface rust on here other than just it's been since the end of April since I've had the four-wheel drive engaged. So what I'm going to do is actually clean this up a little bit. I'll probably try to sop up the stuff in the bottom, see if there's any metal materials in there, maybe hit it with some brake clean, and we're actually going to throw it together. So now I would change this axle seal right now, but there's actually no point in doing it because whatever I end up getting to lock this thing, I'm gonna have to tear it all apart then, and it would make more sense to just do it once instead of doing it twice. So here's the debate of the day. Are you a red brake cleaner guy or a green brake cleaner guy? Personally, I think the red stuff works way better, so I don't know why everybody uses green. This is my current traction device. It's a Yukon. It's either called a Duragrip or a Sure Grip. I can never remember the name. It's basically a limited slip. You can see kind of the purple springs and whatnot in there. So I don't know if it's safe to put the brake cleaner on those, so I'm gonna try to avoid that area. Oh, my can's almost empty. My can is empty. Yeet. Oh, good thing I brought a fresh one. I don't know why they always do this in dips, but they always put like these little channels in there that stay full, and that's like where all the shit collects. So I'm gonna try to scoop some of that out.
Are you recording?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Are you gonna mute the audio?
Mm-hmm.
Just don't look over here.
Alright, so let's get into the choices I have for a front locker. So I've got a couple budget choices and I got a couple more expensive choices, but I'm gonna explain my line of thinking here. The first one is buying an open carrier and either Lincoln locking it or getting a lunchbox locker. It's relatively cheap. Option 2 is a spool, kind of the same result. It's a full-time locker, relatively cheap. I don't know if you've ever driven with a fully locked front, but it's kind of annoying. I used to run a lunchbox locker, so I was used to it before, but now that I don't have one, it's so much nicer not having that like fighting. The steering wheel is always fighting you to go straight. Option 3 is a selectable. That's like $1,100 to match the aux locker I have in the rear. And then option 4, and this is the one that I'm on the fence about. I really want to do it, and that is getting a Kingpin Dana 60 from the same year Ford truck that this 44 came out of. So I actually have a line on one of these. My girlfriend's dad's farm, there's this like half of a truck frame sitting there with a Kingpin 60 in it, but it is going to cost so much to like fully rebuild gear, lock, axle shafts. Like, it's going to cost me a ton of money to go that route, but in the end I think I'll be happier. So what would you do? So that's why I've been in this debate. That's why I've went so long. Everybody's like, Dan, why don't you buy a front locker? Well, it's because I've been kind of in this internal struggling debate on where do I want to put my money? Do I want to just keep lipstick in this pig, or do I want to just get the axle that I want, even though it's going to cost me more? I don't have a problem buying the selectable locker for this thing, but I do... If I spend that kind of money on this, it's kind of locking me into this Dana 44. And I have a feeling that once I lock this thing, these chromoly shafts and these little U-joints, just, they're not going to survive. And that's kind of why I want to do the Dana 60. So if I did do it, it would end up costing me a whole bunch more, because I could upgrade to RCVs, but I would have to get a 35 spline locker instead of a 30 spline. And then I'd also have to buy different lockouts, because these ones won't accept the RCVs. I have to get I think it's the Warren Premium ones. So it's going to cost a lot of money to go selectable. I think I would actually be better off selling this axle and just getting that Dana 60, using that money to build it. So in case you're wondering how I'm going to pay for whatever locker or option I go with, and that is right in front of you here. This is my Rusticon flip project. I got a bunch of videos on this if you guys want to check it out. I did take it out wheeling this past weekend and did quite a decent bit of damage. I got rock rash on all the wheels. I bashed this front bumper in, bashed the crash bar in, the automatic sway bar quit working, a little bit of damage on the hard top, the rear bumper's dented, so on and so forth. But I got this thing for so cheap, and I'm just working on fixing it up. I just did all the rear brakes. I'm getting ready to do all the front brakes. I'm working on all the rest on it, but I'm expecting to profit on this thing, and that is kind of how we're going to be doing some of these upgrades on the YJ. I really want to get a better transfer case with at least a 4-to-1 or maybe some kind of a doubler. I really need new tires to replace these super stiff Humvee tires, and of course, you know, the front axle debate that we're having. So guys, I want to know what you think. What do you think I should do, and what would you do if this was you? Would you go after that 60, hopefully get it for a few $100 maybe, and dump thousands into it, or would you keep working on this Dana 44? So let me know down in the comments what you think you would do, or what you think I should do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.